Hello, just a short video from me about electric cars charging the network. In the UK, well, I'm in the UK, the number of electric cars and PHEV cars in this country is it's little more than 1%. So it's not many, especially in about 15 years' time. They're supposed to be going over to electric cars completely, like not selling any more fossil cars. But anyway, at the moment it's about 1%. And I'm going to talk about the charging network, because if, as it is now, 1%, obviously very, very small, 1 in 100 cars is an electric car. A petrol station, say with 10 petrol pumps, and you fill your car about a tenth of the time it takes to charge an electric car. So on my calculations, that means to service the same number of cars at that same petrol station, that petrol station now serving just electric cars would have to be 10 times bigger and have 10 times the chargers. And all the chargers would have to be 50 kilowatt chargers. Now here in the UK, 50 kilowatt chargers, which are absolutely vital on a trip, that's the minimum, is 50 kilowatt per hour chargers. Anything less is hopeless on a journey. So you'd have to have all these fast chargers, and as I say, the petrol station now converted to electric station would have to be 10 times the size and have 100 chargers. Now in Braintree, GridServe has built a electric charging superstore, if you like, because it's the biggest one in Britain, that's for certain. Because most charging places in Britain have got one charger, absolutely farcical. It's all very well when there's no electric cars to charge, but wait, because they're going to catch on, because they're great. I love them. I'm sitting in one. So, yeah, I love electric cars, but unless things are done dramatically to the network, because we are a small country with a lot of cars, unless something dramatically is done, there'd be no way to charge them. Because even if we had 10 times as many electric cars, which is no big deal, it'd still be a tiny majority of the electric cars on the road. Well, pretty much stuffed. I mean, as it is now, we've got chargers that don't work. And in this country, if a charger doesn't work, that means the charger doesn't work because there's only one there. So we need, I don't know what we need in a way, because we haven't got the space. I mean, in Norway, half the cars being sold are electric because they're way, way ahead. So they're the smart country. So they're way, way ahead. And even there, because I watched Beyond Nyland, who's the electric car man. He does a vlog, and he is superb. But he finds it, if he's not got his Tesla's a different class, because they've got their own charging network. They are way, 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 way above. People try to slag off Tesla cars. They're so far ahead. It's unbelievable. They're so far ahead. Even you just talk about the charging network that makes them far ahead. Because, especially in the UK, because how many 50 kilowatt chargers are there in the UK? There's even cars, electric cars, that can't even take 50 kilowatt charge. So it is a problem. There's only one solution, and it's the one I always say, and still people argue against it. They say, oh, you only do 20, 30 miles a day on average, you don't need long range. And people still say that, and it's absolute drivel. Because without the range, you won't have anywhere to charge on the road. If electric cars really catch on big time, you'll have nowhere to charge on the road. Because you won't want to stop at a 3 kilowatt charger on your trip, and you want to stop at a 7 kilowatt charger on your trip. You won't even want to stop at a 22 kilowatt charger on your trip. 50 kilowatt charge is the minimum. And the faster a station can charge a car, is not going to be as big. But even with my scenario of a 50 kilowatt charger, which is a fast charger in this country, it is still going to take 10 times longer to charge that electric car. So you've got to have 10 times the size of the area to charge all those electric cars. And because it's going to take 10 times longer. So everything's going to be multiplied by 10, which is a bit of a mess. I really can't see this country getting to that state. So, and I say the GridServe one, is even though a fabulous place, it's got about 36 charges, I believe, which is too small. It's beautiful, huge, too small, even that. So, I'm misting up in here. Oh, no, here's a luxury seat. I can turn the heater on in this car without the engine running. Isn't that nice? So I'm going to clear my windows. You'll be able to see the windows clear. See how wonderful electric car is? Anyway, so let's, I'll turn it down so it won't make too much noise. Yeah, so as I say, a problem to say the least. Can't see how it's going to be fixed, because this is my big hang up, is cars have got to have a long range. 400 miles is it, and everyone's telling me I don't need long range, and everyone says, and they're just not seeing it. They're just not seeing it. Charging at home, the long range, you don't need to charge on the road, which should be just as well, because you won't be able to charge on the road. So you need the range to charge at home. You don't want to charge away from home. At the moment, I mean, some people watching this be saying, "Oh, I've got an electric car and I charge on the road, and there's no problem." Yeah, but at the moment, there's 1% electric cars on the road. Imagine 10%. Imagine 10 times as many electric cars on the road. Do you think you'd be able to drive up to your charger? No, it'd be full up. I mean, I've said a thing about, I think Germany does it, that petrol stations are not converting. But in Germany, petrol stations are going to all have a fast charger in them. Very nice. That is a really good idea. But they won't, I mean, I'm just surmising this, but they won't have a lot of electric chargers because they won't be big enough. And they're far ahead of us, because they're not a stupid country, they're a smart country. So it won't be enough. Even if all petrol stations converted to electric charging stations, which they won't, well, not in my lifetime, there won't be enough chargers. Even with that, even that vast change in thinking, it still won't be enough. I mean, visualize this. I mean, I've got a Tesla and I'm sitting in the Tesla and it's lovely. And there are Tesla superchargers, but not many. But when you go to one, there's always a place to charge at the moment. But do you ever pass, I mean, as a driver on the road, do you ever drive past a Tesla charging station? No. I've never driven past a Tesla charging station. I've been to a Tesla charging station. I had to go off my route to get to it. But that's the same with all chargers. But at least when I get in my Tesla, when I go off route to go into my charging station, it's not a disappointment, because they all work and they're all fast. So, not so bad. Yeah. So if you're not driving past electric charging stations, you know that on a trip in an electric car, the problem is staring you in the face. It really is. It really is. I mean, the angle is that, oh well, on a journey you're going to stop anyway, so you're going to stop for your food, and you're going to stop for a drink, you're going to stop for a rest, so charging up is no problem. Absolutely, fair enough, as it is now. What happens when there's 10 times as many electric cars? You can't get in a stall before you go for your lovely meal. There's nowhere to go to charge it. You've got to queue up to charge it before you get your meal. And also, you're very antisocial if you're having your meal and your car's finished charging and you say, oh, I just finished my creme brulee and I'll leave when I want. No, you can't do that. Well, you can do that, but it's not very sociable, is it? Because people are queuing up for your charger. This is in the future. A bit now, but mainly in the future. But unless things have changed dramatically, and I think it's not going to be infrastructure, it's going to change enough. It's got to be designer cars. It's got to be solid state batteries, cars with 400 or 500 mile range. Charge at home. Charge at home is the only... Have you seen the windows all clear? Isn't that nice? Anyway, charge at home is the only place to charge because that's always available. Doesn't matter how long it takes to charge because you're asleep. And it's cheaper. So it's all win, 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 win. I said in my previous video that this car's perfect, too dear for me. When the leases run out, and I've got a Kia Soul as well, and when the leases run out of that, both running out this year, I won't be able to afford that and the car, so I'm going to have to buy a car, and it's going to be, so half my greenery's gone down the drain. It's going to be a BMW i3 with a range extender, but I don't expect to use the range extender much, but it's nice to have it there, isn't it? And I can't believe BMW have dumped the range extender. I mean, I know their angle is they've dumped it because now they're putting a 40 kilowatt battery in their car and it does nearly 200 miles, which is more like 150 miles when the weather's not nice. So it's got realistic 150 mile range with a big battery. Well, I don't think that's enough. If anything, the range extender's even more wonderful on a car with a longer range, because that means you are very, very, very unlikely to use your range extender. So you're as clean as me, because I haven't got a range extender. I've just got battery. So you're as clean as me if you've got a range extender, and more so on a car with a range extender with a long range anyway. Super duper. Best of all worlds. I say some people got the BMW i3s. The range extender hardly ever works at all. I mean, it is a shame you've got to have a range extender, but you really have, because when electric cars really catch on, as I hope they do, anyone who's driven an electric car will be absolutely sold. It is so much better. You'll love it. It's lovable, to say that. It's wonderful. Perfect. The only downside is charging it. Charging it now on the road, well, Tesla Super. I have to forget Tesla because they're a different class. Charging your other electric car on the road could be a problem. And it's a problem that's not going to heal up. It's a problem that will get worse because there'll be more of them. I hear other people on the internet talking, promoting they love their electric car and all that. And they say, but when I go on a long journey, because I've got 2 cars, I use a fossil car. Now, to me, what's the point? Now, what's the point? And you're promoting electric cars and just saying you've got a fossil car for a long journey. That's the point. The point has gone. You're an electric car. Tesla is one of the few that actually makes electric car not a town car, not a city car. It's a use it all the time car. Because the guy, Elon Musk, a bit of a weird guy, is a genius. And he knew there's no point in making a car like they make a Honda E now for 30 grand. My biggest downer car with about 100 mile range for 30 grand. And they label it as if it's a badge of honour. City car, 30 grand. So you want a proper car, don't you? You want a car that goes everywhere. Even if you drive it around the city 11 and a half months of the year, you still want to use it to go somewhere, don't you? And if you want to use it to go somewhere, you've got a better range than 100 miles. Yeah, so range is everything, as I always say, but don't let me sound I'm being a bit anti-electric car now, but what I'm saying, the infrastructure's got to be there, but that won't be there. So what's got to be there is range. And I'm talking 400 mile range, so I'm talking about solid state batteries really, aren't I? Because even if you do your, your 200 miles, I mean, people going in one direction in the UK probably aren't going to drive more than 200 miles, are they? I mean, that's like me driving to Devon, which is quite a nice place to go. 200 miles. If I drove to the edge of Cornwall, I'd probably be at 300 miles. But I've got to get home again. I mean, if I drive there, I've got to get home again. Like there's an advert on the TV for a new Vauxhall, the Vauxhall Electric, and saying, look at this, 200 miles, which of course it does 200 miles, but imperfection. So they say, you can drive it from here to, I think it's Manchester. Look, drive from here. What do you do when you get to Manchester? Your battery's flat. You've got no power left. You've got to play hunt the charger. You just don't drive one way, do you? So you don't want to play hunt the charger. So really, Manchester, for that Manchester run, you want 400-mile range in any condition, because you want to get home again. You don't want to go there and play hunt the charger. That's no fun. People are saying this. There's one guy on the one of these electric car networks, big one. He says, I mean, he's a bit of a con, really, because he paints a rosy picture, too rosy. I mean, I hope I'm being more realistic, but then nobody looks at my videos, so what the hell. Anyway, so he says he loves public charging. You twat. You love public charging. God almighty, how can you love public charging? Well, you love the inconvenience. You love the risk. Maybe you like the risk. The risk of finding that charger working. The risk of that queue. Or the risk of running out of power because you've got your charger and you've got a low state of charge in your car and it doesn't work. Yeah. I mean, yeah, as people say, because I've got 2 electric cars, they walk past the house and say, oh, what, you got an electric car? And I say, and it is wonderful. I say how wonderful it is. Yeah, smooth, quiet, wonderful, beautiful. Perfection, it's perfection. And then they say, oh, well, sometimes I do a long journey. And really, I want to say, oh, yeah, but you can charge up on the road, so it's no problem. Well, actually, it is a problem. I'm not going to give them a sugary sweet and say that's no problem. It is a problem. If you've got to go a distance, it's a problem staring you in the face. Because, I mean, when I used to drive a lot, I used to drive for a living. And did I plan? I say, oh, did I plan? Where shall I stop? Where's going to be my charging? No, of course, in those days, it's all petrol and diesel. So you never thought, where shall I put fuel in my car? Well, for one thing, a petrol or diesel car has got over a 300-mile range anyway, because the petrol tank's that big. I had a diesel car once. This is ancient times. Diesel Peugeot 405. It had a pretty big diesel tank. I got out of that car 700 miles on one tank of diesel. Now that's range. So I wasn't thinking of where to fill that up. And if I did, wouldn't plan to fill it up, because you pass petrol, diesel stations. You never ever look about it. I mean, my hero, Bjorn Nyland, in Norway, he, on his screen, in most electric cars, they've got places to refill. So he looks at the screen and says he can go to Nemones, one of the places. I'm so familiar with what places he goes to. I can charge at Nemones. I think I can get there. I go to that one. And I'm beginning to think, do you know what? This isn't good, is it? It isn't good to have to plan. No. And Norway's network is 10 times better than ours. Goodness me, ours is absolute chronic. I mean, not only have you, and it is find a charger, and to find a fast charger, you're maybe absolutely stumped. So, in this country, goodness me. And some, they say, oh, there's a charger there. And it's a little tiny post. And this is going to be a slow charger, so it's bloody useless. It's a little post sticking out the ground in a vast car park. Well, you've actually got to get out the car to try and find this stupid bloody post. And the chances are a fossil car will be parked on it anyway. So yeah, charging on the road, abysmal if you're using the car for a purpose. And if you're using it for leisure, do you want your family to say, oh, Daddy, yeah, the kids in the back of the car. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Actually, no, kids, because I've actually got to pull over in a minute to charge the car. Oh, God, Dad, what the hell? Yeah, well, what the hell? Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, you need some range, don't you? And I've talked about PHEVs. I don't like PHEVs because they mess up the electric bit of the car. The only electric, which is the one I'm going to get, is a BMW i3 with range extender. That's the one I'm going to get because it hasn't messed up the electric car. Other PHEVs, they mess up the electric car because they've got petrol drive. Rubbish. When you've driven an electric car, you see how rubbish petrol and diesel propelled cars are. But BMW i3, no, that's so annoyingly expensive second hand because they're so wonderful. And you can't get them anymore, so it's even pushed the price up even more. People want a range extender. They don't want a PHEV, which actually drives the wheels with the petrol diesel crappy old engine, because as I say, that kills the electric element. That kills it stone dead. So the only car that's about recently, and it's not even being made anymore, is a BMW i3 with a range extender. And I'm so sad that it's not going to catch on. Because in this country, that's the only angle that's going to catch on, because we're not going to get the infrastructure. Germany probably will, because they're a bit great. Norway is, but even that, the number of electric cars there is catching up with the number of places to charge it. I mean, Bjorn travels all over the place, and when he's not in his Tesla, and he's going in another car, he does get to places where you have to queue up for the charger. And they've got loads of chargers. And as I say, you don't charge on a slow charger. So take a look before you're thinking of getting an electric car. And some electric cars charge at 50 kilowatt an hour. That's the minimum. Some don't. That's the minimum though. Some charge at 100 kilowatt an hour. What's the point? We haven't got 100 kilowatt chargers, have we? That's comical, isn't it? It's got the ability to charge, but we haven't got the infrastructure to charge it at 100 kilowatt an hour. Some charge at 200 kilowatt an hour. That's even more farcical because we haven't got the chargers. That one GridServe place has got the charger, but you're going to use your charger up getting to it. So, nah. So anyway, so range is everything. Charge at home. What a treat. And this has gone really on long. Too long. This video is too long. Nobody's going to watch this to the end, are they? You'd be my hero. You're my hero if you're watching this video to the end, because it's 23 minutes. I'm going now. It's a nice sunny day, and I'll see you later. Mind the road. Take care of yourselves. Yeah. Bye bye, mates. Bye bye.